emotions running high right now. I'm thankful. I can't stop crying, followed by the laughing, crying emoji. So, Shannon, how do you feel about him signing with Baltimore's practice squad?
Skip, I'm extremely happy for Dez. It shows me that he really wants to play. I think they had him in, and they said, look, we need you to be in a little better shape. And it looks like he went home, he worked, got in better shape, and they brought him back and says, hey, now they could use Dez. They have the worst receiving core as far as production with catches and yards and touchdowns and things of that nature, Skip. So maybe Dez is a person that could help them out immensely. And in order for them to go to ultimately where they need to be, Skip, they're going to have to throw the football. Yeah, we know they can run it. But what happens when you don't have the lead and you got to throw it? And we've seen over the last couple of years, Lamar Jackson gets to the playoffs, they fall behind, and he's unable to bring them back throwing the football. And so hopefully Dez, I don't know what Dez has left. You're asking an awful lot, Skip. A guy that hadn't played in a long period of time, who was never a burner to begin with, suffers an Achilles injury. And so we don't know what we're going to get. This is uncharted territory. We haven't seen anything like this. Basically, he's Josh Gordon, but Josh Gordon was 4 to 5 years younger when he returned than what Dez is currently. And Josh Gordon didn't have the injury that Dez. It was just, we know Josh Gordon's story. So I'm happy for him, Skip, that he's willing to start at the bottom and to work his way back and says, all I want was an opportunity. You got my foot in the door. Because remember, Skip, they tried to sign Dez immediately after he got released. And he said no. It turns down 3 years, $21 million to come back. Baltimore. To come back and basically take a $12,000 a week job.
Wow.
I'm happy for him. Hopefully it works out.
Ditto. When I read his tweet last night that ends with, I can't stop crying, it nearly brought a tear to my eye because this still young man, he's 31, he has suffered. He went from the top of the mountain. In 2014, he put up one of those years that you look back on and say, that was a year.
Right.
He dominated this league in 2014, led it in touchdown catches. Whew. First team All-Pro, and I'm on TV every day. I'm throwing up the X.
Every Sunday.
Right?
Every Monday morning, you coming in throwing up the X.
And that year obviously ended in Green Bay, in which Dez caught it.
They finally didn't catch one.
Just for posterity, could we see it one more time? Yes! He caught it, and he ran with it, and he slammed it on the goal line with his left hand like a running back would, and the ref on the spot raised his hands to say, touchdown, until it went to replay review. That's a touchdown.
Upon further review.
Upon further review, it's not a catch, said somebody in New York, I guess. That's a touchdown. Caught it, ran with it, slammed it on the goal line. Complete control. It bobbled even as he hit the ground, and it came up on top of him, so it never touched the ground after he slammed it on the ground. This is as much of a catch as you will ever see. That's a catch. He ran 2 strides with it and had such control in his left hand because he's left-handed. He slammed it on the goal line. That's how I will remember Dez Bryant, because my team would have won that game and gone on to Seattle, where they had won in the regular season, and they just might have beaten those Seahawks again and gotten to the Super Bowl. They would have run into Tom Brady. That would have been another story.
He caught a buzzsaw, so no.
Yeah, okay, I got that. But that was really the height of Dez Bryant. And what was he best at? He had incredible all-time rapport with Tony Romo. They loved each other because Tony liked to just throw it up for grabs.
Yes.
And the one guy who could go up and grab it the most was this guy.
Yep.
Wasn't the fastest, but he was big and strong and powerful, and he could leap and play basketball and high point you and beat your brains out. He did make the Pro Bowl in Dak's first year, so I give him that, but the numbers are about half of what he did in 2014.
Correct.
Jerry paid him after 2014, and he earned it.
Yes.
He got, 5 years, $70 million.
Right.
Whew. And then Jerry came to regret it because he began to fall apart. He had a Jones fracture. He had this and that and the other, and he had no chemistry at all with Dak, and they fell apart. And pretty soon he's out. And then he's out of the league, and to your point, he has an Achilles tear. And it did my heart good. Just, what was it, a couple months ago, we saw the video of him catching off-season passes in that workout facility in Fort Worth from your homeboy.
Yep.
Because Patrick Mahomes still has high regard for what Dez Bryant used to be,
right.
what he achieved in this league. So, again, do I think he could contribute for the Ravens? Well, not much contribution there. They're 31st ranked in passing.
Yeah, at 189 yards a game, maybe in the 50s, 60s, 70s, even early 90s. I mean, that was good enough. You had a sound running game, could play defense, but not in today's game. In today's game, Skip, you need a guy, because it's going to come a time that says, okay, we're not going to let you run the football, and in order to beat us, you're going to have to throw yourself to a victory. And right now, what concerns me is Lamar going to advance enough, because he's going to have to trust that he's going to put the ball up and Dez can come down with it.
I agree.
That's what it's going to come down to. It's all about trust.
And mostly red zone trust.
Yes.
Because Dez can still do that. Maybe some third down possession receptions. But I'm rooting for him.
I am too, Skip.
And by the way, on December the 3rd, the Dallas Cowboys visit the Baltimore Ravens. So just for Dez's sake and our sake, because it'd be fun to watch.
Oh, they're going to run for 400 yards on y'all.
Here we go.
Y'all just gave up 200 plus yards to Washington. You gave up 300 yards to Cleveland.
307 rushing.
Oh, y'all better give up 400 to the Ravens.
Maybe they won't need Dez that night, right?
What you going to be the first quarterback to rush for 200 yards, Lamar? To rush for 200 yards on y'all.
You could be right, and I can't even argue that.
I hope it does work out for him.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.